Hello everyone, in this video let us talk about LinkedIn. And just to give you some background, for the past 1 year I have been trying to reduce the usage of various social networking sites like Twitter, Facebook, and also WhatsApp and LinkedIn. Now I have been successful, and I think I'm quite happy with what I have done in the past 1 year. So around August last year, I basically removed myself from all the WhatsApp groups. I also unfriended a lot of people on Facebook, and those connections were not really my friends. uh, I knew them, or maybe they were friends of my friends, but they were not directly involved with me by uh, any connection. Usually, when you have a friend on Facebook, you will get a request from someone you think you know, or maybe someone you want to know about. So it can happen both ways. Either you are trying to reach out to them, or maybe they reach out to you. And they are not really your friends or colleagues, or they are not really part of your family or extended family. And apart from Facebook, of course, you have Twitter. On Twitter, of course, you get the option to follow other people, and especially if you want to know what they have to say, because on Twitter it is like a broadcasting platform where things can be shared not within your network but basically with the whole world. So whatever you have to say, you have to promote or broadcast, you can do that. And by following certain people, you can actually ensure that you are trying also to get updates from them. And also LinkedIn. So LinkedIn is a platform is which is slightly better as compared to other platforms, because on LinkedIn things are a bit more professional, and LinkedIn is of course a platform for not just candidates who are looking for jobs, but also for the companies to promote. Now if you talk about what kind of activities, what kind of posts you will see on LinkedIn, the moment you open your LinkedIn profile, I'm assuming that you have a profile on LinkedIn, you will notice posts where companies are trying to promote either their events or their blogs, or maybe they have a job opening. So basically companies will promote something, which is great and fine. The second kind of posts can be categorized into motivational posts, where someone is trying to share a story. It could be related to them directly, or it could be maybe some other story that they want to share with everyone. So it's basically motivation. The third kind of posts, the third kind of posts are mostly about certifications. So whenever people achieve something, like I remember last year I did a couple of certifications. I also posted on my LinkedIn profile. I was of course proud of achieving them, and people of course want to show off. And the last category of posts or updates that you will see is related to the career updates. So when people join a company, or when they leave a company, or when they receive a welcome kit from their new employers, they want to update it on LinkedIn. And of course on LinkedIn, if you're an individual, you will have your profile, you will have your resume. Now I have absolutely no problem with these things, these kind of posts, but the main problem with LinkedIn is that by default it will show you not only the updates from your network, but also any update from all those people who are part of your network. So let us say if I have 100 people in my network, I will of course see posts from them. I may follow certain companies, and I want to know about those companies, what they are doing, because that is what I am choosing to do. But by default, if those people, they like a post, or if they comment a post, or if there is something that they are doing online on LinkedIn, you will also see those updates on your profile, which in my opinion is the biggest problem. And again, just like any other social networking platform, you have the option to either use it or not use it. I have decided to, of course, limit my usage of Facebook, Twitter, WhatsApp, and also LinkedIn. But I do open LinkedIn. I mean, in fact, I open all the sites at least once in a day, because I want to know what is happening in the world. I don't really want to be left alone. And what I wanted to talk about in this video is that you should decide what you're trying to achieve from going to LinkedIn. If you're looking for a job, then fine. I mean, LinkedIn is a place to be. You need to have your resume over there so that companies can reach out to you, and you're also aware of what is happening in your industry, and that is, of course, one goal. Or maybe you just want to be distracted with whatever is happening in the world, which in my opinion is not really a goal. It is not really fruitful. It is not really productive. So when you are using LinkedIn or any other platform, to be honest, you should have this clear agenda or goal in your mind, what exactly you're trying to achieve from these platforms. I personally do not have any objective, any agenda, or any goal when I visit LinkedIn or when I go to Twitter, for example. I'm just there because I want to have a presence. And in my opinion, the best thing that you can do and you should do is to set up your own website. Now, if you talk to a normal person, like, do you want to have your own website? You should set up your own website. If I tell you, do you want your own website, then you might be a bit worried, or you might think setting up a website is very complicated. In fact, it is not at all complicated. If you have your own website, I mean, so let us first talk about how to create a website and what you should do in the beginning. In my opinion, a website is basically something that need not to be complicated at all. You shouldn't be worried about doing something complicated. Don't worry about setting up a blog or a newsletter or a slider or setting up a good looking site. All you need in the beginning is one simple index.html file. That is it. That is all I think you need to get started. And maybe you're happy with that. So basically, if you have your own domain name, let us say abcd. Not abcd, but whatever domain name you want. Like, for example, I have a couple of websites, more than a couple of websites where I actively post something. So your website should be about what you are, what you do, and what you have to share with everyone. For example, if you go to any of my websites like ravisagar.in or ravi.pro or ravisagar.com, I basically have links to all of my social networking sites in case you want to follow me on Twitter or Facebook, or maybe I want you to look at my GitHub repository or my YouTube videos, my YouTube channels. So on my website ravisagar.in, I of course have it is a site in Drupal, and you can do a lot of wonderful things in Drupal. But even if you just have a simple HTML site, for example, ravisagar.com is my simple HTML based site where I want people to know about me, what I do, and maybe a link to other places. But in the beginning, I think you just need to worry about one page, index.html, where you can tell the world about what you do, who you are, and maybe you can have one more page called resume.html, and that is it. That is all you need in fact in the beginning, and maybe forever, because it is your own site, it is your own domain. You are free to do whatever you want. If I like your content, let us say you are writing a blog post, and by the way, setting up a blog post is not at all complicated task. All you need to do and all you should do is maybe create a folder called blog, and within that folder write all the articles. So each blog can have its own HTML page, and maybe you can create one listing page called blog.html where you can have listing of all those individual blog entries. That is what I do on ravisagar.pro, which is nothing but a simple HTML based site. And I of course manage it using org mode in Emacs, but you don't have to. You can actually just do it yourself. And in the beginning, you can have one page or two page or a couple of pages. You just need to host it somewhere, and you can actually host a website on a simple HTML based website with some CSS or JavaScript if you need to on GitLab to start with. Or maybe you can buy your own virtual private server, or maybe a shared hosting. There are so many platforms, by the way, where you can figure out these things. If you go to my website ravisagar.in/hosting, you can find a lot about different hosting providers. But I think in the beginning, if you just want to get started, set up a simple HTML site and host it on GitLab. It will be wonderful, and it is something that will help you quite a lot, instead of creating a resume on LinkedIn and keeping it up to date. I mean, it is okay to have a LinkedIn profile. It is okay to have a Twitter handle, but your social networking sites should have a link to your website, and your website should be the place where you want to redirect your audience, your people, or maybe your potential employer. For example, if a company is trying to hire you, for example, on LinkedIn, they are looking at your profile. They have the option to take a look at your profile, but I can guarantee that people will, your potential employer, your recruiter will also want to know more about what you do, what you have been doing. And if you have your own blog, and imagine on that particular blog, you're not just talking about your skills, your career, but you're also sharing all the other things that you're doing. Maybe you're a photographer, maybe you like making YouTube videos, maybe you like writing. So you have that creative freedom and a place where you can do whatever you want, and you can do it in a way where you think you are comfortable. If you're using let us say LinkedIn, you have to of course either create a resume and post something, but that is it. You can't really change the layout of your LinkedIn profile. You can't really do things beyond what LinkedIn will allow you to do. So in my opinion, these social networking sites are fine, but if you're spending too much time on these particular platforms, I think it is not really a good productive utilization of your time. For example, I consider myself really ambitious, and I plan my work. I try to break up my goals into smaller chunks of small goals that I want to achieve every month or every week, and every day whenever I do something, I make sure these particular activities are contributing in some way towards achieving those goals. And if I open, let us say, LinkedIn or any other social networking site, and if I am maybe distracted by things that are happening in the world, and I maybe am not able to finish my activities, finish my tasks that I'm supposed to do that day, then I think it is not really a good thing, because you can maybe miss something that you want to do once or twice. But if that happens on a regular basis, then I think you will deviate quite a lot from your from achieving your goal. So just to give you one example, let us say you're browsing LinkedIn and you notice that people are posting their AWS certifications. Now I also want to do AWS certifications. Why not? Because it is something that I think will make sense for the kind of work that I have been doing. But I want things to happen, and I want to plan the things properly. But if I am maybe distracted, maybe if I'm looking at the LinkedIn feed, and if I see a couple of my friends, like I know that some of my connections, like few people in my connections, they always post about achieving AWS certifications, and I also want to know a bit more about those certifications. And I of course do click on some of their posts, and I want to know more, because it is human nature. You are always, I mean, your mind will always try uh, to trick you to click on those links and spend time going through those distractions. But I think, in my opinion, you should avoid as much as you can. So what I normally do, I open LinkedIn once or twice a day, and same for Twitter and Facebook. By the way, I do open Facebook because I want to know what is happening in my local community, because apart from keeping in touch with my friends and family, I also want to know what is happening around my local area. And for WhatsApp, I'm just restricting the usage of WhatsApp to my very close friends and my family members. That is it. I don't really use WhatsApp to basically connect with hundreds of people, and I don't really know them at all. I mean, that should be the usage, in my opinion. And to be honest, for some of these networks, like for example Twitter, I hardly open Twitter. Even if I open it, I just quickly go through it. But I prefer using indigenous app, where everything is coming from my Twitter feed, along with all the indie web based websites. So I use that particular app for consuming the feeds that I want to consume, because when I open the indigenous app, it is basically restricting the usage of it won't really show me the ads, and it won't really show me things that I don't really want to see on my Twitter feed. So I use that particular app, indigenous app, for consuming the content, or maybe knowing what is happening in the world when it comes to Twitter. And LinkedIn is, of course, one specific site, one specific platform where I do go a couple of times, not more than two or three times in a day, because it is still better than other platforms. And I restrict myself. I mean, I have a simple rule for Facebook and LinkedIn. I hardly post anything. Even if I do post anything, so most of the posts that I post on LinkedIn, Twitter, or maybe Facebook, sometimes I do that automatically. So whenever I write something on my site, if I include a specific tag, only then that particular post will get shared on LinkedIn or maybe Twitter or sometimes Facebook. So that is, of course, automatic. So I'm not really going to LinkedIn to post something. And for commenting or liking, I never do that, because once you get into that habit of liking a post or commenting on a post, I do that very rarely, in case I have something. I mean, usually when people are discussing something, it is like endless discussions, and I don't really think I get anything out of it. It is good to have a discussion where you can maybe challenge the ideas, or maybe you can be challenged by other people. But in majority of cases, I think it is just, if you get into a discussion, then it is endless, pointless discussion, and I try to avoid as much as I can. So I hardly post anything when it comes to liking or commenting on other people post. And again, going back to the same topic of your own website, I think you should have your own website. I think that is the best thing that you can do, and it is very, very easy. Just buy a domain name and create a simple index.html file. Do it yourself. You will feel much better when you do it yourself, and don't even worry about the HTML syntax. Even if you write a simple text file and upload it on, your index.html file, the only thing that is important is the extension. It should have index.html. That is your home page. But in that particular file, even if you write simple text, that will also work wonderfully well. And do that. I think that is really important. And of course, it will give you the opportunity to learn a bit of HTML, and you can always play around. I like the websites of 90s where everything was simple HTML and nice, with not much happening, and I prefer that. I think it is much more enjoyable when you read a simple plain HTML based post where all you have is nothing but text, maybe some images, but I'm fine with no images at all, to be honest. I prefer, if I'm writing something, I always try to write stuff, and I try to explain it in the text, in the content of the blog, instead of using a lot of images. I use images, of course, but not all the time. I prefer explaining what I'm trying to explain by writing properly, and that is all I wanted to share in this video. I hope you enjoyed watching this video and you learned something new today. Thank you very much.